asexuality, all things asexual. And I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. So, when to let go. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you about different things to let go of and ways in which you could go about doing that. So first of all, you may be dating someone, and you need to know when it's time to let go of them and to stop dating them. You might be in a relationship with someone and love someone, and you need to know when it's time to let go and move on, if you know. And also you need to know when it's time to let go of your current life and move on to a new one for yourself, and let go of the old you and bring in the new you. So there's a lot of ways and things you can let go of, right? So first of all, if we go to the dating scenario, when to let go of someone you're dating? Well, you should let go of someone you're dating when you realise that they are not compatible with that person, however much you may like them. Because if you're incompatible, for example, if your life goals are different, if where you're headed's different, then it's only going to be prolonging heartache and pain if you stay dating that person. So, for example, if you, like, I live in the UK, right? And if I came across a guy who was currently in the UK, but then he wanted to move to America, USA, for example, and I know that I love living in the UK, I never want to move abroad, there is absolutely no point, and I can't do long distance relationships, there's absolutely no point in me continuing to pursue a dating scenario with that guy, because we're not a compatible fit. Our future is not going to be together because we both want different things. Similarly, if they want marriage and kids and I don't want that, then we're not going to be compatible. Of course, things can happen to people in their lives. Some people might decide naturally to change on something. People evolve, people have different life goals, ambitions and dreams at different stages in their life some of the time. But for example, with me, I've known since 15 years old, I do not want kids ever. And I've never ever deviated from that, right? So I knew at 15 years old that children was just not for me. I contemplated even at 15 years of age if I wanted to adopt. I asked myself the question, okay, so you don't physically want kids, but what say you did think about it? Say a partner of yours in the future wanted kids. What could you do? Like, oh, okay, well, I might be okay with adoption in the sense that I could give a life to a kid, a good life to a kid that otherwise might feel left out, lonely, isolated, not have any parents around, or not having loving parents around. I might be able to give a child a good, happy childhood, if you like. I didn't like my childhood very much. Not all of it was bad, but, you know, I remember quite a lot of not good stuff because I was quite depressed throughout a lot of it and anxious, right? Still have anxiety now, but, you know, anyway, of course I looked at it like that, but then I know the role I would have to take on as a mother. I know that whether, you know, I'm not definitely not having physical kids of my own, but I knew even adoption, the way I would need to be. And I know that in terms of being able to take care of someone, I have some motherly type of qualities within me that would be able to do that if I wanted to lean into that mother type of figure, but I really don't. I don't have the maternal instinct in terms of wanting kids or being a mother or anything like that, but I do have a very caring attitude, and I don't like seeing people get hurt, if you like. So, you know, I kind of consider like the people at my meetups are a bit like my children, but they're not. Some of them are like older in birth certification than me, but it's kind of like I see them as like people I have to take care of in that way, you know, like family type of thing, some of them. You know, so it's kind of like strange, but I'm not a motherly figure as in the sense I don't want to be a mother. I don't crave to have children at all. I haven't got the motherly instinct in me in that way. But I know within myself, if I put myself in the position of, could you be a mother? I know a little bit about what that would look like and how it'd have to be, but it wouldn't be being me. It wouldn't be being Sandra Bellamy, the young girl that I need to be and that I love to be. It would be a lot more responsible adult role that would take away from myself, and that would make me become a different person that I personally don't want to be. I don't want to be someone who's looking after someone else, cooking and cleaning and that. I hate cooking and cleaning. I'm not a housewifey type of person at all. So that really wouldn't suit me. So I've known since 15 years old, I do not want a child. And if I look for a guy in a relationship, which I'm not currently actively searching anymore for a guy for a relationship, but if I do, I always look for a guy who doesn't have kids already and doesn't want them, doesn't need them, like myself, right? So those things that are deal breakers, if you come across someone you're dating and they have deal breakers like that and they want kids and you don't, that eliminates them from being a suitable match for you. And instead of spending your time, energy, and effort on that person, you need to move on, because you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time being with the wrong person when you could be with the right person, or you could be facilitating more happiness in your own life by yourself, doing your own thing and progressing your career or another aspect of your life. So it doesn't mean to say that you have to go and jump into dating someone else. You could just realize that it's not worked out and you'd rather not spend any more time, energy, and effort on it, because you'll get attached to each other. And when you get attached to each other, it's really, really painful to pull yourself apart from that person, even if they're the wrong person for you, right? So if you're dating someone, find out early on by asking the hard-hitting questions if you're going to be compatible or not. If you know you're both looking for different things in life, you have different desires and needs and wants and likes and dislikes, and they're just not compatible at all, it's like putting a brick in a round hole. It's just not going to work. Then don't waste any more of your precious time. You have to let that person go. If they're the right person for you, they'll come back into your life at a later stage. But as they are, you have to face the reality they're not right for you. And likely they'll never be right for you. A few people I've known do have an ex come back, do have someone that they knew years ago come back into their life, and they do actually have a good relationship with that person and end up being with them forever. But in my opinion and perspective and experience, that's very, very rare. Maybe if the person's been married before, it can happen. I know two people who've been married and that happened with them. One got divorced, the other was going to get divorced and never did, and they're back with their husbands basically now. And as far as I know, they're still with them. So I know for definite one person is. And so yeah, it can happen, right? Someone can come back into your life, but usually a lot of years has to pass by. One of you or more of you has to have some sort of change, because as you are in that moment, you're not suitable for each other. And like I said, you're unlikely to be suitable for each other. So it's no good pining for that person to come back. When it's done and dusted, you have to accept it and move on. And it can be really, really hard, especially if you have love feelings for that person, care about the person, kind of want that person in your life. But if you have that person in your life, you'll be on to heartache and pain, because if you have feelings for them, you're not going to want to see them with someone else. In the sense that you love them and care about them and want to be happy, you might want to see them with someone else, but it might be very painful and raw for you if you still got those initial feelings that haven't really left. So it's better to just move on. In terms of a relationship, if you're actually in a relationship, this is a lot harder, because you usually have been in the relationship for a lot longer with them. You're usually more attached to them. It's harder to let them go. Maybe you're living with them. So this requires a lot of communication, of expressing your needs, expressing what the things are that aren't going right, and what action you would like to happen in order for things to be better. But what you cannot do categorically is tell someone they've got to change, because you can't force someone to change. So you can't say, for example, I don't want a guy who wants marriage. If all of a sudden a guy wanted to marry me and I don't want him to marry me, I would have to just say, I'm not interested in getting married, right? I can't turn around and say to him, you need to not want marriage, because that would be wrong of me. I can't control him and what he wants. All I can do is say, well, I'm still the same. I don't want marriage. So you need to think about whether you can stay with me without marriage, or you need to look for someone else who does want marriage and can give you that. Right? So, that's his choice then, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? If you found out you're asexual partway through a relationship, this is a very difficult thing to do, right? And to know and learn about yourself partway through a relationship with a heterosexual, for example. So you will need to have open, honest discussions about how you're feeling, what you're thinking, how you came across the fact you're asexual, how asexuality feels to you. You need to talk about physical aspects of your relationship as well as the emotional. You need to let them know what's missing for you, maybe, and what's right about the relationship. You always need to, when you have these conversations, put together a sandwich of something that's good about the person that you're enjoying, liking, the thing that's a problem, and then sandwich it with something else that's good if you can. So you're not just saying stuff that feels very negative to the person, like you're attacking them and you don't really care about them, not really interested, and you'll moan about them. Right? It's best to use feeling words, like, when you do this, I feel that. When you say this, I feel this. So rather than saying, you made me feel, it's better to say, when you said this, I felt this, right? It's quite hard to do, because in the heat of the moment, you don't always think about specific words to use, but it's just better if you can use those type of words. And so, yeah, I really, really would encourage you to speak your mind. And so it might just be that you're okay with some physical aspects of the relationship still, even though you're asexual, but there might be other things you're not happy or uncomfortable with. So you need to have open, honest discussions with your partner about it, about the fact you found out you're asexual. Maybe it came as a shock to you, so you're sure it's going to be a shock to them. And you say, things haven't been feeling right, and I wasn't sure what it was, but I found this out about myself now. And you need to be blunt and open and honest and say what you like in terms of physical intimacy and what you don't like, what you maybe want to try, what you maybe want to do a lot of, maybe what you want to do less of, and see if you can work those issues out, like physical compatibility, sexual compatibility, right? It may get to a stage where you are a completely sex repulsed asexual, and the person you're in a relationship with is heterosexual, and they love sex and they absolutely adore it. So if you become completely incompatible, where you're completely sex repulsed, they are interested in sex, they want it and need it and crave it all the time, and you are quite rightly not happy with them getting their sex elsewhere outside the relationship, and maybe you're not even happy with them watching porn. Some heterosexuals, they might be able to masturbate to porn, that might be enough, but in a lot of the time, in my experience, they still need sex some of the time, right? So obviously you could look into options of doing oral sex, anal sex if you're into that, and stuff like this. This is if you're an asexual person who's in a relationship with a heterosexual and you've only found out partway through the relationship, right? So this is not something I'm telling, oh, asexuals should be having sex. That's not what I'm saying, right? I'm actually saying the opposite. That if you become so uncomfortable, become so sex repulsed, then you'll probably have to leave the relationship. And then, in fact, you will have to leave that relationship if you can't come to a compromise, if you can't satisfy both your needs, if you're both more miserable in a relationship, and having more miserable times than good times, you have to leave that relationship. You can't stay in it even if you're married, right? Because life is too short and precious to be miserable the majority of the time. Not everyone's happy in a relationship all the time, but if you're more miserable than happy, if you're more anxious than happy and relaxed, if you're more nervous and worried and concerned, and you've got a lot more negative emotions than you should have, then it's really, really important that you stop the relationship, right? You try to do whatever you can, open, honest communication, say your needs, they say their needs. You try to see if you can work it out a lot of the time. See if there's some way that you can have a healthy relationship going forward where both your needs are matched as much as possible, right? But if you get to the stage where you're both making each other miserable, and for example, you're sex repulsed asexual who's hating being pressurized into sex all the time, being made to feel guilty, feeling bad all the time, you're not giving your partner sex when they really crave it, and you're a heterosexual who really wants sex, really needs it, and you're just feeling like so frustrated and so angry at your partner that they can't give you sex, and you're just feeling miserable and repressed, and the asexual's feeling coerced or pressurized or guilty, and and the asexual is just feeling unloved because they can't, their partner's not able to love them without sex, and equally the heterosexual's feeling, that why doesn't my asexual partner love me enough to have sex? Then once you got this sort of imbalance going on all the time, and it's like a uphill struggle and fight, you need to end that relationship for your own good, because if the pain is more than the gain of being in a relationship, there's no point in staying in it. I know that's really hard to hear. I know that's not what you want to hear, but you have to let that go, because it'll become an unhealthy, abusive relationship usually, or in the least unhealthy, but unhealthiness usually leads to some sort of abuse, whether it's emotional neglect or whatever, So this is a time when you need to let that type of relationship go for your own good. When you can't make it work anymore, you have to have a cut-off line and saying no. If by such and such a date we can't make it work, that's it. And it is damn hard, but there is plenty of other people out there for you in the world. The world's large, and there's a great lot of good you can do by being a single person, by being a solo artist of life and taking some time out for you, rather than being in a relationship that is dragging you down and not feeling happy anymore. It's not good for you, right? It will age you really quickly. You'll feel miserable, and you won't have very high self-esteem or confidence anymore. You probably won't even recognize yourself anymore. So move on, let go. Now, the other type of letting go I was talking about after I've drank some water is is letting go of your life as it is and of yourself as it is. So this can be really difficult. So this is a process that I'm going through at the moment somewhat. I'm trying to let go of some things in my environment, for example. So I'm trying to change my life at the moment, and I know this is going to be a long process. So I've had to let go of the dating apps because they're no good. I'm on Facebook dating, I'm on permanent take a break Bumble, I'm on permanent snooze, and I'll probably uninstall the Bumble app soon. And so I'm taking a break from being on dating apps. I'm still in dating groups and on dating sites. I run 3 asexual dating groups, so I'll always be in them. But I'm not looking to date anymore. I was working out things that I like about my life that feel good, things I don't like about my life that don't feel good, and what I feel is a solution and things that need to be changed. And I haven't even factored into that about a relationship anymore with a guy. I've literally let that go for now of pursuing a relationship with a guy. I need to heal from the upset and pain that has been caused to me. Well, I'm not saying I'm right. I take responsibility for dating guys and communicating with guys, right? But I need to heal from the past love interest, relationship interest, dating interest. I need to do some healing. So I'm not doing dating apps at the moment, and for the foreseeable future I don't see me doing that. I feel now that actually in my plans I'm not including a relationship in them anymore. And the reason I've decided to let go for now of the relationship idea is because it was causing me more pain and heartache and anxiety than it was feeling good. And when the pain of what you're doing is overwhelming and greater than what you're gaining from it, you need to leave what you're doing and let it go. So I know I need to change my life, and it is not easy for me because I have an anxiety condition. I have generalized anxiety disorder, and it's not easy. It's not easy for anyone to change their life. When you've got an anxiety condition, it kind of makes it 10 times worse, in my opinion, because, you just have a lot of fears and worries that are exaggerated and exacerbated, right? But I feel now's the time to actually change my life. I don't want to be on dating apps anymore. I'm sick of getting guys that treat me badly and who are not good for me or right for me on there. And therefore I feel I need to change myself. You can't change other people. You can give them advice, you can give them guidance. You can't change someone, you can't control them. And if at the end of the day, if that's the type of guys I'm getting, then I don't want to know anymore. I've had enough. So I'm letting go of the idea that I need to be on dating apps. I actually have got replaced that with the idea at the moment that I don't need to be on dating apps, that I really just need to get used to being single again and on my own in my mind and my life. And it was just making me so anxiety induced and poorly that it's not worth it for me. Maybe I'm not right to date, maybe I'm not right to get in a relationship, but at the moment I'm definitely not. And you never know, in the future I might become a much different version of me, which I'm hoping that might be suitable to be in a different type of relationship, better, stronger, more kind, caring, compassionate, loving relationship. But as it stands at the moment, I really feel I just need to focus on my career and myself, and I don't actually need a guy in a relationship with me at the moment anymore. I feel I get more work done for my career. I feel I can move forward faster on my own as a solo artist of life. So I'm actually letting go of that. I'm letting go of stuff in my environment. And so you might think, why is this important? Because when you have got old negative energies in your life from past exes, from boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, from your past life that has gone before, then, if you're still clogging up your environment with this type of thing that you don't need anymore, then you need to get rid of much of it as possible. But what I would urge you to do, especially if you do have an anxiety condition, is just to do it gradually. At the moment, I'm just getting rid of bits around my bedroom, particularly slowly, and just do a little bit at a time, because if you do too much at once, it overwhelms you and kind of sets you back. And especially if you've got an anxiety condition, and it can feel just really wrong and weird. But if you do it gradually and mix it in with some of your favorite things that make you feel stable, happy, that you like and enjoying your passions, and they give you that stability, then it's okay, because it's like you've already got a strong foundation of stability in your life already. So what I would say is, always, just take your time with what you're doing and don't rush things, because sometimes we just need to, thanks for the thumbs up, sometimes we just need to understand that change takes time. Like, I've come off dating apps before and I've gone back on them again, but this time I don't want to go on them again. I just feel the whole thing's too painful. I feel that I need to change myself and my life, and I'm really pushing myself to do that now. So I kind of like feel like I've come out of a trance, like coming off the dating apps. I feel like I've been in a bit of a time warp for a while, like since 2014, looking for my asexual Indian soulmate. Do I still think he's out there? Yeah, but I'm not chasing him anymore. I'm not going after him anymore. Maybe I'll meet him in this lifetime, maybe I won't, and that's okay. I'm not focusing on him anymore. Sometimes I think about him, obviously, and I'll always be attracted to Indian guys. It's just the way it is for me. But I'm no longer focusing on that anymore. I'm just focusing on me and my career and trying to make peace with myself and my own home and in my own life, and thinking, okay, now I'm not doing all this dating and searching for a guy anymore. Like, what things can I do to fill my life and time up with? What things have I neglected about my environment, or about the career I want, or about the things I want to do in my life? What else can I change to make me happier? And so when you let go, sometimes it's not a bad thing at all, because when you let go, you're freeing yourself of negativity, of things that are no good for you anymore. and you're going out with the old and the old energies, and you're bringing in the new, right? So you're going to go through a transition period. This may last weeks or months. Thanks for the thumbs up, lots of love. And I've been watching some different videos in the last like couple of hours, ones that I haven't watched before, because I want to change myself and my life. And I was learning about the 7 female archetypes, which I haven't gone into before, because usually I prefer male company overall to female, and usually I have some masculine traits. I'm very proud of them. I like being in my masculine energy, but clearly I have some femininity about me as well, because I'm happily like a girl and a Disney princess at times too, so that's good. So I was learning about the different 7 female archetypes. I've never learned about these before, but apparently I did a quiz and it came out I'm a maiden, which I agree with quite a lot, but obviously I do have masculine energy as well, so that's kind of weird. I'm not sure if I'm complete a maiden, but I did read up about it, and it said like when you've been around for a few years, basically what type of so basically a maiden is like someone who likes to have fun like I do, and is always like a child at heart, and who's with me it's more than a child at heart. I'm like literally my mind, soul and heart are all really young, and the majority of my body is as well. So I'm like really young. And it was saying about like when you're a matured maiden, you're really creative, really intuitive and stuff like that, which I am. And so I really feel that now is the time for change, and you have to make change happen for you rather than it happening to you. So it's much better to take charge of your life and think, how can I change myself for the better? And I just, know that I'm going the right way. It was really uncomfortable to start off with trying to change my life. And, I'm still finding out where exactly I want to change it, because I do like a lot of my life still, but I think what it is I'm not doing enough of, or what I worked out is I'm not doing enough of the stuff that brings me joy, happiness, pleasure, and feel good. And I wasn't doing enough of that. So until recently, like the last few days, I wasn't like watching movies, for example. I felt guilty about watching a movie that helps me relax, but I don't feel guilty about it making me relax. I just felt guilty that I wasn't working. I was watching movies a lot more. But actually the movies really help my body to be relaxed, and it helps me to spend time with myself and to focus just on chilling out with me, and that's really healthy for me. And from movies, personally, I get lots of motivation, lots of inspiration. My movies that I usually watch, they've all got a common theme. If you notice, the majority of them, not all of them, but the majority of them are all about achieving your dreams against the impossible, like making the impossible possible, like against all odds they achieved the outcome they wanted to. That is a lot of what type of movies I watch, especially like the superhero movies, even the dance movies. In the dance movies, it's all about kind of like them struggling in the beginning, find it hard to get recognized as a professional dancer, find it hard to get work, not getting paid enough money to do it, but it's their dream. And somehow they battle through it and they manage to conquer their fears, anxieties, and they come out on top. This is kind of like the motto in my life a lot of the time, what I'm geared towards, and what I thinking about a lot is how to make the impossible possible, how to make dreams, lots of love, thanks for the thumbs up, how to make dreams become a reality. And I still don't think I'm at my full potential yet. I feel that I'm meant for more in this life, but obviously more to help asexuals, and I feel that I'm just not living up to my fullest potential yet. I feel I've got so much potential in me, like it's bursting out of me, and I've been feeling like this for quite a long time. So clearly I need to make some changes in my life, and I just hope that I continue to make them, right? But I'm, rather than like making them and feeling overwhelmed, I'm just doing a bit of time thinking this is a journey. It's not like a marathon, you don't have to run everywhere. You can just take it slowly, take it easy, just do it like almost subconsciously and intuitively. Like just think, oh, today I'm going to get rid of this thing in my life, today I'm going to cut out doing this thing in my life, today I'm going to do more of this. And like think like more short term, as in the sense that, okay, if I change my life just this week, how would this week look like to me? So for example, Monday we've gone through into Tuesday when I'm doing this live now. But for Monday, it was very much like, I'm going to do an admin day on Monday. I'm going to see how that goes. And the reason this came about is because, like, when I'm trying to change my life, I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to work out exactly how I want to change it. And I still haven't worked everything out, because I do like quite a lot of aspects of my life, but I don't do enough of the good aspects that I love. So, for example, when I brace my inner child, which is to do with the maiden archetype again, and you know, I'm going out more, I'm socializing more because I'm really extrovert. When I'm going out with people, like I went with my friend Andy to the zoo on Friday. I saw my parents, my guinea pig Angel, on Thursday, the day before that, evening before that, I should say. I went out for a social group, you know, just going out and doing more things. I feel better when I'm out, right? I'm a really outgoing, social person who needs to be out there learning from people and socializing, right? So my priorities have really changed over these last few weeks that I've been doing a dating app detox, right? They've changed from thinking about pursuing a guy, getting this guy for a relationship, to actually, I think that's anxiety inducing for me. I don't think that's the right way for me to go anymore. I'm not saying, you know, like, I haven't completely changed. Like, I'm not like saying I never want a relationship, or I don't, you know, I still always believe I've got an Indian soulmate, someone in the world, but I'm more comfortable now about, at the moment, not being with him, not finding him, not pursuing him. I'm feeling like I'm okay on my own more, you know? So I don't have to do that anymore, right? If he's the right guy for me, he'll turn up one day, yeah? And I'm very good on my own, and sometimes I just think maybe I'll be better on my own forever, or at least for a number of years, right? Obviously I'm a hyper romantic, and that, you know, by doing this I'm kind of calming down some of the romantic side of me, right? Which can be a good thing, because it can make me make more better informed decisions and choices in my life. It can help me to be calmer and have more stable emotions, and it can help me get less attached to guys, because I'm not going around looking for guys anymore. I've still got guys in my inbox though, you know. I have guys come in because they're attracted to me. I'm in one Indian dating group since April, and I still get guys in my inbox pretty much every day, Indian guys, but the majority, they just live in India, and they don't even read my bio. Basically, it says, I'm like, are there any guys in the UK, you know? So already they're kind of at a loss with me, because it's like, well, I want a guy in the UK, not abroad, you know? And obviously then you get all the stupid things like, oh yeah, well, I'm moving to the UK, which is just rubbish the majority of the time. They're not coming to the UK at all. They want to pretend they're coming to the UK, so they set your mind thinking, oh, I need to be with this person, so you help them get into the UK. This is their strategy and tactic and game playing, and I just don't buy by that. And a lot of the time now I'll say to the guy, oh, so why did you connect with me? I'm interested. But a lot of the time I'm so busy, like, I'm actually more active on YouTube at the moment than Facebook. Like, I'm so active on here, as you probably notice. I'm doing like quite a lot of shorts on here now. And so really my main focus for social media at the moment is YouTube. It is this channel specifically. I'm on this more than anything else. Like, Facebook, I haven't been on that much. I used to upload stuff to my personal profile regularly, but there'll be some days now that I haven't even uploaded anything to my personal profile. Groups I've not been in as much as I used to. Like, there's a lot of people that interact and do comments on the themes. Some of them are talking between each other, which is really good, which is all I want. I don't need to be there all the time. I have another admin who's my best asexual friend who helps me as well, which is really good. But you know, like, if I don't take time out for social media, I never get anything done. And I'm still playing catch up. I'm playing catch up from COVID. I'm playing catch up from doing legal stuff last month. I'm getting my mindset back right, because I had, like, over the last week I had my CPTSD symptoms return. That's complex post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. That came about because I've got legal stuff that I have to deal with, which I can't talk about in depth on this channel. I can't talk about what it's for. All I can say is it's about the thing that causes me triggers and caused me to have CPTSD in the first place. And so it's kind of really hard managing that and pulling myself back from that. But over the weekend, I've managed to really do that strongly. So, and it helped going out and having great time with my friends, well, with my friend and my best friend Andy, and it helped, like, just being out. And so for me, like, I'm trying to get my life on track and as I want it as a single solo artist of life, without looking actively for a relationship anymore, pursuing that. I'm still getting over the guys that have broken my heart basically this year, or who I allowed to break my heart, if you like, and I'm still need to heal from all that experiences and let them fully go, right? They haven't totally fully left my mind yet, all of them, but I'm working on it, and I know that I have to let them go because it's for my own good and their own good, and I deserve better than any of those guys, right? But I'm better even on my own, you know. Like I said, as a solo artist of life, I'm spending a lot more time by myself. Like today, I've done lots of stuff. I've done some stuff for my asexual groups. Actually, I've been one of my asexual groups. So I've decided, rather than trying to do everything at once, I'll work on improving things in increments and small goals, and you know, do bits each day as much as I can to stay on target for what I want to do and change and achieve. So, for example, in my UK asexual group, I've created some new posts, themed posts to go in there each week. And, you know, that might not seem very much to you, but for someone who hasn't changed the themes for a few months, that's quite a big for me. And it took quite a bit of time to do that because I have to create it with images and stuff, you know, and really think about what's going to satisfy the group and remove some theme posts that not work anymore. So it's stuff like that, you know. I've worked on my Asexual Guide to Sex book. I've done like a couple of pages on that. It's like something like 1,600 and something words roughly. So because I've let go of the need to, because I've let go of the desire to be in a relationship, I'm just focused on the relationship a lot more with myself, with the people on this channel, with my career, and I've basically like given up on actively pursuing a relationship and focus on that to in place and replace it with focusing on multiple other aspects of my life. And I think that's really healthy for me and good. So it's kind of like relationships and dating can be like a kryptonite for me. And I don't really talk about this that much, right? But it's kind of like my Achilles heel. Like, I am a hyper romantic. I get attached really easily. I can have love feelings very quickly. It's not something I want to do. It's not something I like to have, but it happens. And it can be really hard to let go, like, of those feelings and get rid of them. Like, it usually takes me on average 8 months to get rid of love feelings for someone. And, you know, if that person turned back up in my life years later, it's horrible because it can just reactivate those feelings as though they have never left me. And so that is not good for me. You know, I'm very aware of that, and I have to be very aware not to let guys who have treated me badly back in my life and get around me that way, you know? So I'm very consciously aware of myself, but I feel like giving up kind of actively pursuing dating and relationships in a romantic sense now has left me able to see all the other aspects of my life that I've kind of neglected and need to tend to and build up and sort out. And so I actually think this is very healthy for me. I think it's very good for me. Um, you know, and I would encourage you to do the same. Like, there's something called the Life Book, and which is a course basically where you create the book of your life, how you want the life to be. And there's also quite a lot of courses you can do online. There's Brendan Burchard. He's like a famous entrepreneur. I've seen him in a seminar. I've got a number of his course and books. And I did a course called Your Next Bold Move years ago, and that for me was really good. It was quite life changing, and I really enjoyed it. I haven't done it for ages actually, because you can redo it. But I really loved that course. And a lot of the time Brendan talks about different aspects, like 7 aspects of your life you need to address. And then the Life Book, which I haven't actually done, but I know a little bit about what goes on in it, there's like 12 aspects of your life you need to focus on. But for me personally, I'm kind of removing or dampening down the relationship side of things, the romantic relationship side of things. So instead of focusing on a romantic relationship, I've kind of like now addressing all the other aspects of my life and leaving the dating and relationships behind in the sense of actively searching for that. But I'm focusing on healing that part of me. And obviously by going out socializing more, I am aware that I might possibly meet someone for a relationship, but it would be better in terms of I should hopefully get to know them better as an actual person in a context of everyday life, well, at least in social situations, if you know what I mean. You still can't tell what a person's like just from being a group of social people, because they can be very different behind closed doors or on their own, right? But I am aware that by going out more and socializing more, I'm kind of like setting myself up in some ways to be more open to dating relationships, but in kind of a offline world more than online world anymore. And, you know, and I'm kind of like growing in confidence like that as well. So I wouldn't say totally dating relationships is completely no go and nothing's happening with it. I would just say I've got a much more sensible approach to it, and I'm not actively doing that anymore. It's not of interest to me like it was before, and I really need to break from that as much as possible. I'm gonna kind of use it as an experiment, going in different social situations to actually kind of like, sometimes in my head I think, oh, could I be with this person, and how would I act if I was this person? Would I act confidently? Would I act securely with the person? Would I think that person would enable me to be that type of person that I want to be? And if the answer is no, I'm like, no, I either they wouldn't be the right person for me, or I need to do more work on myself. So yeah, I just want to become a really good career girl, a really strong, fun person. So I want to embrace my inner child more. So now, you know, I'm making a conscious effort to go out more. I've already booked to go to the meetup.com event with the 20th and 30th group this Friday. They've got a meetup again where I go with some of my asexual meetup people at George's Meeting House, but they're going to see a live band again afterwards. Now that didn't work out for me last time, in the sense of I felt a bit excluded in the social environment because everyone was smoking outside and or being with the smokers outside, and I can't stand that. And so I'm not really into bands, I'm into clubbing. Bands make feel a bit old to me. But I did have a foreign guy come and chat me up, and then ended up talking to me about intelligent stuff for 2 hours, which was really amazing. And had I not gone and taken that opportunity, he's not compatible with me for a relationship, but if I hadn't gone and taken that opportunity, I wouldn't have had that experience, right? And also the last meetup that did go well, which was in a place where I go to with asexuals now as well, but it wasn't an asexual meetup. It was outside, and so there wasn't so much smoke, because it was outside in like a field area, so the smoke can, disperse more easily, and there's less people smoking in that specific set of people. And one of the guys said, and I actually told them that I have a problem with going out like side, because I'm not at the other place where there's a ban going outside, because it affects my chest because I get respiratory and chest infections. I'm prone to them. So what happened is I decided to tell one of the organizers, and someone chimed in and said, oh, I have a sensitive chest as well, so I don't mind like going upstairs with you in one of the rooms to chat to you for a while. So I'm going to give it another go, probably, to see how it goes. It is out of my comfort zone. I'm not, I prefer to be in clubs and around younger people in the club environment, but I'm happy when I'm out the 20 to 30-year-olds in the actual social setting, just with them, with no smoking. It's because of the smoking that's the issue. So yeah, I'll have to see how I get on. And this place where people smoke, there is younger people as well, but it's just like the band inside is older, but I can't be outside with the smoke. So I'm going to see how it goes. I'm going to give it another chance, probably see how it goes and see how I feel. Um, you know, so yeah, but I'm definitely going to go to the first bit anyway, because where they go to eat is just great for me. It's the second part that's problem. If it becomes a problem further down the line, I just won't go to the second part of the meetup. I'll only go to the first. So anyway, this is what I mean by you have to let things go. Like, if things aren't helpful in your life anymore, if they're causing you excessive pain, stress, distress, anxiety. It's time to let them go. Like dating and looking for a relationship with a guy, it's just caused me so much anxiety, and it really is debilitating for me. It makes me have spasms in my stomach, have IBS symptoms, and a lot of it's involuntary nowadays, and it just really upsets me, and it sets me back for days. And so, you can't do anything unless you're feeling healthy and good in your body, mind, and soul. Health is wealth. It's the most important thing in your life. So it's really important that you do whatever it takes to become healthier in your mind, in your emotions, in your life. If that means dropping something that isn't feeling good to you anymore, isn't feeling right for you anymore, is destroying part of you in that moment, then you need to just drop it, let it go. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm not pining after my soulmate anymore. I used to get upset about and cry a lot, and now at the moment I'm not even thinking about that anymore. I'm not even visualizing that in my life anymore. I mean, I do sometimes. Like, okay, so sometimes I subconsciously visualize it. I'm not actively visualizing it. So sometimes, like, I'm sat at my desk, and then all of a sudden I will think about an Indian guy seeing me when I'm a speaker in London, and he's sat in the audience. I will see something like that because that's a vision I've had for a very, very long time. And so I will still see stuff like that, right? But I have no idea who that Indian guy is. And at the moment, that's not happening. So there's no point in even worrying or thinking about it, really. Well, it's nice to think about it sometimes, because it's nice to still be able to visualize that, but, without really trying hard. But, it's time to let go of the old and bring in the new. It's time to change our lives. And what I'm saying is it takes a long, long time to do this. Like one of the videos I was watching about reinventing yourself in your life, this person talks about it taking like 6 months. Give yourself 6 months because you need time to adjust. And also you should know exactly how you want to change your life. I don't totally know everywhere I want to change my life at the moment. All I know is I have to change it, and I kind of just working with my intuition that's telling me, okay, so get rid of this now. Okay, so move this around now. Okay, so do this now. And I'm just like listening to my own inner voice, listening to my own guidance, listening to my own intuition, because I like being young. I don't want to change that part of me to be too old. Do you know what I mean? I like being my young teenage self. If anything, I need to be more of that person, not less. But I also need to be more career focused, more business minded, more proactive in that way. So it's a lot of change going on at once, and like I said, you take it in increments. In terms of letting go, we have to face our emotions head on, right? Like hiding from our emotions is not going to help. We have to face our fears. So if we still love people, we have to admit that we still love them, even if they don't love us or it's not reciprocated or that person's no good for us. We have to admit we still love them, we still care about them, and it's just the way it is. But one day you'll get over that person. One day you'll move on from that person. It just takes time, and patience really is a virtue, right? And and what I want you to do is just think about all the aspects of your life that make you feel good, that you want to keep and that you want to grow and nurture, right? When we look at my fibromyalgia self-help handbook, for example, at the moment that is helping me even to remind myself of how to have less pain, more energy, and feel happier in your life, right? And even reading stuff out like that on this channel helps me to remind me of my own advice, right? And when I was reading earlier about the fact, do what makes you feel good and happy as much and as often as possible and do more and more of that, it is totally true. Now I'm going out more, now I'm socializing more, now I'm taking time out for me. I'm feeling good and I'm feeling better because I'm focused on what I want. I'm focused on my current situation and my future situation, but I'm also focused on just living more in the moment, living my intuition, and just being grateful and thankful for what I do have now, but also striving to become a different version of me. Like I said, you need to really have direction with where you want to go with that. I'm not completely sure everything I want to change about myself at the moment. Some things I just love because I've already made a lot of changes in my past life. I used to be like an older soul. I used to be more like an older woman. Now I'm like a young girl all the time, and I love it. I don't want that to change. That's a major shift I made years ago. But I think career-wise, there's a lot more I could be doing. And my Asexual Guide to Sex book, I want to get finished. I'm working on back on that now, which is really good for me. My soul is so much happier. And I want to build a book publishing business. This is one of my main focuses now. And, you know, it takes a lot of like mind power and motivation to be able to do that, you know, like to go from the mindset of an author and writer to author, writer, owner, of my own book publishing company, which I've always been anyway, but have that mindset of promoter and marketer as well. And, you know, have plans about how you're going to like promote Asexual Guide to Sex when it comes out. I'm going to have to really get out of my comfort zone to promote that book, because obviously it's a very controversial title. There's going to be sexuals interested in it as well as asexuals, and it's going to be a huge challenge for me. It really is, but I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, like if I do a lot of media publicity, which I aim to do, right, then, you know, a lot of people are going to know about my birth certificate age more, because I'm going to have to reveal that for media publicity, because for some reason journalists love that type of thing, telling people your birth certificate age and stuff, which is going to be weird for me because I don't live by my birth certificate age. I'm not interested in it. I couldn't care less about it, but it seems like it's a big deal to other people, right? But I'm not going to behave like that or think like that or be like that, because it's not truly who I am, right? Like, age is a state of mind, and it's a state of being and thinking and doing, and how you are. It's not a piece of paper. And years ago, I would agree with it. I was like older years ago, but now I'm not that type of person, you know? So that's going to be kind of weird, because I'm going to be living like two ages. One is my birth certificate age. I'm going to be consciously aware of that more. And then one is my mindset, lifestyle, heart, soul age, you know, and how I actually live my life, you know. I think, you know, people shouldn't live by what society dictates you should do at a certain age or where you should be. You should live your own life and be the age you choose to be, so long as you're legally compliant, right? And so, you know, that's going to be kind of weird. I'm really going to have to get out of my comfort zone, because there's other stuff coming up. But obviously, I'm going to be talking a lot about my book in the future months. But I'm really excited for Asexual Guide to Sex to come out, you know. I'm still writing content for it, can you believe it? Like, over 3 years later. But I'm on, like, a chapter at the moment. I've got one more chapter to do and finish the final chapter. Then I've got all the formatting to do and some editing to do, quite a bit of editing still. So, yeah, I've got quite a way to go still yet, but the future is in sight. It takes a lot of patience to be able to spend 3 years of your life writing a book, even if it is on and off, off and on and off. You know, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of courage to keep going. It's really difficult sometimes when, you know, like, you know, you've got so much left to do, and it's like, how do I cope with all this, like, overwhelm? But what I've had to do is just break things down to chapters and just focus on one chapter at a time and just getting that done. And you know, like, you have to do a lot for each chapter. Even if it's not loads in words, you have to really think very intensely about what you're doing, how you word things. I do editing as I'm going along as well. So I've not left all the editing till the end. I literally, like, if I haven't worked on my book for a few weeks, I will literally go back to the last bit I wrote, and I will go through that again and start editing it again. So sometimes it would be good to have breaks in book writing, because then you can go back and edit it rather than leaving it till the end to edit everything. So I've been editing this book as I've gone along, but there's still some bits that I know that I need to take out, and then, you know, there's going to be some crossover with repetitions, because each chapter is designed to be read in and of itself, but also to be read as a whole book. So I'm just going to be careful that it's repetitive in a way that's needed, not in an excessive way, you know, that's not needed. So there's still quite a bit of work to go on it, but I think I'm like nearer the end now, you know, like I'm like on a chapter, and then I've got one more to do, and then the final one. So I feel like I'm getting closer now, which is really good for me, because it's very hard when you can't see the end in sight for a long time. And, you know, in the future, I'm going to be writing more books for asexuals, but I think this is going to be the longest book that I'll ever write for asexuals, to be honest with you. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. That's what I'm feeling and thinking, because I think I need to write short books, and I know the next book after this, what it is, and it's going to be shorter anyway. And it'll be really good for me to write some short books, you know, because when you're writing a book for 3 years, it takes a lot of time, energy, effort, a lot of concentration. You have to believe that you can do it, that you can finish it, and you have to, like, you know, like, I'm a sex repulsed asexual talking about sex in the book. And so for about a year and a half of the 3 years, I've been quite sex repulsed writing some of it. But over the years, like 3 years now, I've kind of desensitized myself a lot to it, which can be good in a way, because I'm going to need to talk about the sex word for podcasts and interviews, because obviously I'm going to be trying to get on podcasts that aren't just for asexuals. I'm going to try and get on podcasts that are geared towards asexuals and that audience, but I'm going to be getting on a lot more podcasts, because I need to spread the word of asexuality to the majority population, which is heterosexuals. That's always been my mission, to get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation in its own right throughout the globe, so that no asexual has to live in fear of ridicule ever again. And I'm trying to change my life so that I can fulfill that mission more and more. That mission drives me every day, right? It's really my life purpose besides writing, right? Writing is my first life purpose, followed very closely by asexuality and my mission, right? I like being on this channel. There's, like, a lot of the other things that I feel about doing, it's kind of repulsing me more, because I'm more and more geared towards helping asexuals, writing more and more books about asexuals. I feel this channel, I just want to grow and grow and grow it, because I feel it has so much more potential. I feel it has, like, a huge scope of entertainment, information, education now. I think it's really good to have asexuality in real life context as well. I think it helps you a lot, you know, because if you just have textbook definitions of asexuality, like, but what the hell does that mean? How's it going to work for me in practicality? And so that's what I like about this channel, you know. But with the Asexual Guide to Sex, I really believe it's a book that can change history as we know it in regards to sexuality and asexuality. And that's a big kind of weight to bear. I think I try and pressurize myself. Well, I'm not trying to, but I think I automatically do pressurize myself a bit, thinking this is such a big thing. But I have to let myself know that it's all right, whatever happens, whether I sell a few copies of a book or whether I sell 50,000 of them, you know. I want to sell 50,000, that'd be great. Even 10,000 would be good, or 5,000. But do you know that not many writers sell more than 200 copies of one book in their lifetime, in its lifetime? But yeah, my Asexual Perspectives book has sold more than that. It sells, like, every year, usually every month. And so yeah, I'm very proud of that success, thanks to you on this channel, right? Spreading the word, sharing that asexual love. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. And so, you know, I feel like I have to change myself to become a better version of myself. But when you're doing that, you have to kind of visualize what your better self would be. And I don't think I'm fully up to the full visualization at the moment, because it's kind of like I do love a lot of the aspects I've already changed about myself. And it's kind of like, what more do I need to change? What else would I be happy changing? What else would be good for me changing? And like I said, some of it, the change I need to do is, like, you know, is actually to do more of the stuff I enjoy and not feel bad or guilty about it, and realize that am a sociable person. I am an extrovert, you know, because most asexuals are introverted, and I have to understand that I'm not like that. I'm an extrovert. I need to be around people. I get energized by people. I like socializing. It's good for me. It's healthy for me. It gives me confidence. It hires my self-esteem up. It makes me feel good overall. Obviously, there's still things I need to work on, as in, you know, like, I need to make sure that the social situation I'm in are always feeling as good as possible. Like with the situation with the can't be outside socializing because it's full of smoke in certain places, like I was the Friday before last, then, you know, I still work on stuff like that. But, you know, changing and transformation is a process, and it doesn't happen overnight. And as we learn and grow and develop ourselves throughout our lifetime, we're going to be changing ourselves to different versions, right? Years ago, I used to be a shy, introverted girl. I'm not like that anymore. I can still get shy sometimes. For example, if I like a guy, like if I'm dating a guy and like a guy, I can get really shy, which is quite endearing, I think. Yeah, so I can get around a guy I really like, I can get really shy around him still. It's like a little girl quality still, which is quite sweet, I think. So yeah, so you need to let go of dating people that are no good for you because you have different goals, ambitions, and dreams, different wants, needs, and you're just incompatible. You need to let go of someone in a relationship when you're in more pain staying with them than you are enjoying yourself with them, right? So obviously it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. If you're in an abusive relationship, you need to leave it. You can't stay forever in an abusive relationship. You'll just drain your soul dry. You'll just won't recognize yourself a lot of the time. And if you keep accepting the abuse, you'll get more of it. The person will just carry on going over your boundaries, won't care because they think that they can get away with it, right? So you need to stop that and leave that relationship. And then you need to let go of the past you to move into a new you. You know, I know what's coming up with the Asexual Guide to Sex Promotion. I know my life's going to completely change with that book. And I've been very scared for about a year and a half of what's going to happen. But it will be a good thing. But it will be difficult sometimes as well for me. But, you know, change is absolutely necessary. It's needed in life because if we don't change, we stagnate and die inside. And we just need to, like, be able to grow as a person. Like, because I feel like there's so much more I have to give to this world. And there's so much more that I'm not yet even a fraction close to what I need to achieve, then I know I still need to make quite a lot of changes. But you know, book publishing business is where I'm going with it. That's what I want to do. I want to be a full-time author making a full-time living out of writing and publishing books. And I want to be, you know, having a range of books, particularly for asexuals, because that's the love of my life, asexuality. And, you know, and I want to be getting my books into bookstores. And, you know, I need to focus on that. I like public speaking as well. I really do, in chat shows and stuff. Like this is a chat show. So yeah, there's still loads I want to do in my life, and I just feel good, you know. So what I would encourage you to do is let go of your past self, let go of pains and hurts, and give yourself time to grieve and to let those things go, and let the emotions go, let the feelings go, and so you can move on. And if you don't know exactly totally what direction you're changing in, I would say just give yourself time and go with the flow and go with your intuition. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe the changes, you need to be more spontaneous, you need to go with the flow more, you need to trust your intuition more, and therefore you'll begin to trust yourself more, become more confident in yourself, and you'll raise your self-esteem. I think that for me is what's happening at the moment. It's just like, okay, so what is not good about your life? What is good? What's the solution? Usually it's the opposite of what you feel. So if you're feeling sad, then you need to do more things that make you feel good. If you're lacking laughs, then you need to go and do things that make you laugh more. If you're feeling like lonely, left out, isolated, you then need to go out and be around people and socialize more. So you need to do the opposite of what you're feeling. Whenever you're feeling a negative emotion, you need to do a positive one. If I'm feeling like I need to change myself, but that's daunting, I need to try and make change feel more comfortable. So I need to get comfortable with change. But if I just allow myself to change myself without thinking about it as much as I could do and procrastinate on it, that will make the change feel more natural and be more natural, you know? So learn to let go of what doesn't serve you anymore, the people that doesn't serve you. You know, like, don't be on social media as much. If you need to free up some time in life. Like, I looked at my phone output this week and it's like over 7 hours less than the previous week. That is probably because I'm not on Facebook as much as I've been before. I'm actually taking time out to get on with my work, which I need to do. Because if I don't get on with work, I feel stressed. If I'm not productive, I feel stressed. I feel like I've wasted my life that day. So like I've been really, really productive over these last 24 hours. I'm so proud of me, you know. It's not easy changing your life. It's not easy letting go of things that you're used to, right? I've had to get out of the habit of going on dating apps and messaging guys. I've had to get out of the habit of thinking about pursuing my soulmate. I'm not even thinking that way. I don't even factor him into my future directly anymore. I'm not writing about him. So when you're thinking about your future and you're doing visualization and you're doing like you know, like you're writing down, like scripting, you're writing down what your future look like, I'm not including a guy soulmate in it anymore. I'm not even thinking that way anymore in the moment. And I think right now that's healthy for me and good for me. I just feel like I'm more in control. I feel I'm trying to get myself better, and I'm just feeling happier overall. I just like being in charge of my own life and not having my emotions messed with by people who don't really care about me, you know. I know what true love and care looks like from my friends, right? Someone who truly loves you or truly cares about you, wants what's best for you. They want to protect you. They want to comfort you. They want to support you. They want to be there for you. Not because they can get something back out of you, but just because they want to be in your life and a permanent feature. That's love, that's care, that's true love and care. And I have that in my friendships, right? I'm very fortunate to have very loving, caring, committed friendships. People that go out their way for me, travel miles for me, people that have me in their life on a regular basis, that message and ask how I am and how my life's going and tells me about their life. I'm very blessed that I have those people that allow me to get on with my own life and give me the space I need, but still very much a focal feature of my life. You know, I feel like well taken care of by them, well loved by them as friends. Years ago, I didn't have that in my life, but now I've got that, you know, it makes life so much better. Because when I have guys that I was dating or who was interested in potential relationship with me and they didn't even provide any of that stuff, I'm just thinking, you don't really care about me. You're just driven sexually a lot of the time. You're driven by your ego. You're driven by your genitals. You're driven by selfish motives, selfish desires. You're not showing me any care. When someone says they care about you, but they don't show it, it's a lie. It's just a lie and artificial, you know. Care is when you want the best for someone, you want them to be happy, you want them in your life, you really feel for them, and you feel like the world and life is a better place for them in it. And you value them and you appreciate them. You appreciate their time, you appreciate their worth. You know, I know some people though, even off dating sites, that they're living like unconsciously. They're like going along, not even appreciating what's in front of them. And that's not a good thing, but it's noticeable. And I just think to myself, well, clearly that person would be no good to actually be in a relationship with, because if they can't appreciate me even as a potential friend and don't want to spend time with me like that, then they sure as hell don't deserve my love and my heart and my time and attention, you know. So I think being single is a real blessing, maybe even in disguise. I think when you're a solo artist of life, you can actually do so much more. When you're feeling like miserable over dating relationships, it's best literally to just drop that for a while. You know, focus on all the other aspects. I've taken away that aspect. Well, I would say not completely taken away, but I would say I've like dropped it a lot in my conscious mind of level of importance anymore. It's not that important anymore for me. So I've dropped that in favor of like really wanting to just focus on my book and focus on building a book publishing business, focus on the things that make me happy and bring me joy in my life. So when you let something go from your life, obviously you could feel a void and you could feel like something's missing and lost. And when I first came off the dating apps, I was feeling really good about it. And then for a little while, I was feeling a bit of a loss. And I was feeling like, should I go, for example, on Tinder? Because I've never been on there in my life, because it's known as hookup central pretty much. But then I thought, because it's got an asexual option, maybe that'd be the best thing for me to do. But then I realised, no, I don't want to do that, because I don't actually want to be on any dating apps. I don't want to pursue a relationship. If I go on there, likely they won't be good guys anyway for me. And, you know, maybe I'd like to find someone offline for a change rather than online, always pursuing that, you know? And I just think right now I don't want to do that anymore. I've still got healing to do, and I just don't want to be in that life anymore when I'm continually messaging guys and putting often more time, energy and effort into them than they do for me. And it's like, I'm worth more than that. My life's worth more than that. I can't be bothered to waste my life anymore. I just think it's a waste of life and a waste of time and precious energy of mine. And I can be doing a lot more productive things. Like, my productivity is shooting up now. Now my mind is getting healthier again. You know, but I have to balance it out. I have to balance out like doing work stuff with fun. I have to be doing it with fun and socializing, because I have to replace the time that I would spend like on dating apps, like talking to guys. I have to kind of get that interaction elsewhere, which may not be romantic in nature, although for me as a hyper romantic, sometimes it feels that way if I'm talking to a guy that's good looking and who I am aesthetically attracted to. Sometimes I can feel romance, but it's kind of like an experience for me, not really for them. Or maybe they're feeling that way as well, I don't know. But you know, I can kind of have some of that experience. Obviously, I'm aware that I am still a hyper romantic. I do have a very sensual, very passionate side. But I think, you know, even in a social situation, that comes out as just being very, very bubbly girl and very talkative and very interested in what other people have to say. So that's kind of channeling that energy in a really good way. And I always remember when something goes, it leaves space for something else. So that could feel weird first. And you have to understand that changing your life and changing the way you do things and letting things go and letting people go is going to be hard at first. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel weird. It's not going to feel natural. I'm trying to get myself acclimatized to a different lifestyle than what I've been used to for a long time by myself, and trying to just feel good about it all the time. You know, I'm allowing my inner child to have more fun, and I'm allowing myself to experience more fun in my life alongside doing more work related tasks. And I'm finding that's a good balance between the business guy side of me and the quirky teenager princess girl side of me, because I do have those two sides to me. I have like a business guy, very masculine energy going on, with the fact that I very goal orientated, very leadership orientated, don't like being told what to do. Like, I'm a leader, not a follower. I'm very like doing action, you know, like I like taking action, doing things. If I go anywhere, I usually go with a purpose. I don't go to just look at scenery a lot of time. I go to do something. Although I have, you know, like at the weekend I went to the quayside, but I actually wanted to do some dancing, so I took my CD player there. And, you know, I want to get a bit more healthier if I can. Again, you know, you can't do everything at once, because if you just cram everything to completely change at once, you'll just collapse and end up going backwards. So, you know, I'm trying to do a little bit more exercise than I've done in past weeks. But when I tried it, like about a week ago, when I tried it, because I got fibromyalgia, exercise can make it worse. And I was doing something for like 2 or 3 days and I just burnt out, and I just need to rest. And so for me, if I do too much exercise, then I'm like knackered for like 1.5 to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, even sometimes up to 2.5 hours. I'm like really tired and can't do much and just got to rest on the bed. And so, you know, I've got to get that balance, because I can't be having a life where I'm not actually doing anything productive and I'm just laid on the bed and miserable. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm feeling knackered, but at the same time, I do need to be a bit more exercising for my health, I feel. So I haven't quite worked out the balance with that yet. It's because I got fibromyalgia. Like, I'd like to say I can completely ignore it and not have that mindset of even thinking about it, right? But I try and get that mindset and not thinking about it. And I do quite a good job of it. But then my body actually decides to like show me that it's still got it. So I'm like, okay. So I think I just need to balance again. You know, some days it's okay if I spend more time exercising. Other days it's like just 20 minutes or something. You know, just a few exercises. Better than nothing. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I just need some rest on some days, not do any exercise at all, you know? So, you know, when you're changing your life and you're letting go of things and you're getting new ways of doing things, you have to kind of like adjust yourself to them. And some of them are going to feel, well, quite a lot of them, if you're not used to them, will feel uncomfortable at first, right? But we don't change by being in our comfort zone. We change by getting out of our comfort zone, by pushing ourselves to do things we've never done before, little by little, fraction by fraction, goal by little goal. And only when we do it in increments should it actually fix in our habits and stay in our habits. If we try and do everything at once, we'll just collapse and heat, burn ourselves out and think that was no good, it didn't work. You know, I can be bad at doing this. I admit it. I can like literally try and do something all in one go. I'm quite like the type of person that just wants to get everything done there and then. And so I can literally like go for gold for a long time and then just burn out. So it's something I need to work on that. Like I've worked out I need to do some things in smaller quantities, or do, you know, like of the bigger picture, I need to have smaller little goals of doing something rather than trying to do everything for that thing all at once, you know? So I'm seeing how that goes. But I also think it's just good to go with the flow as well as making kind of more of a plan. So I think you need to experiment. I think you need to cut yourself some slack and experiment. If things go right, they do. Great. If they don't, then you can change what you're doing, change direction. I think it's important to listen to yourself, not listen to what everyone else wants you to do, because this is about changing your life. This is about finding a new direction for you. This is about coming into your own. This is about making change happen for you rather than happening to you. This is about letting go of the things that don't serve you. In a nutshell, it's about you. It's about becoming a better version of you, a happier version of you, a more content version of you, a different version of you to improve your asexual life. It's about coming into your own and finding these ways of doing things and creating a new life that you absolutely freaking love and adore. And so it's not going to be easy, but I think it'll be damn well worth it. And maybe you want to change a lot about your life, or maybe you just want to change a few things about your life. But just let the things go that do not serve you anymore, that do not feel good to you anymore, that are causing you more heartache and pain than love and joy, and let them go for your own good. This is about taking control of yourself, your emotions, your life, your persona, taking care of you as well, treating yourself like a best friend, like the love of your life, like you're cuddling yourself and stroking your own hair, and, you know, making yourself feel like loved so much. And give yourself praise that, wow, I've done this, I've achieved this today. Especially if you've had a period in time where you've been feeling down in your life, something's not gone right. Maybe you've had COVID as well, and it's literally zapped the life out of you for that period of time, and you're like, I didn't really get much done. You know, give yourself a break and just realize that, you know, it takes a while to get back into doing things. It takes a while to achieve things, and that's okay. You know, enjoy the journey of life, because we only get one life, and it's important that we cherish every moment of our asexual life. I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful today. If you have, please give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. Thank you for all the thumbs up already. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. I love you, and I will see you soon. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.